So I was wanting to move the vacuum aid hose into a wardrobe upstairs. The closet that's in at the moment isn't all that big, so it makes it a bit harder to get in and out, which my wife doesn't like. So first of all, I put in these, what do you call them? I guess kind of like a screw clamp, and one of the threads on here was just stripped, and even when I got them working okay, it was just like moving around a little bit. So it was just going to work itself loose over time. So I'm going to remove them, and then I'm going to try put this bit in. So it's going to have a couple of pocket holes there to screw into this piece of wood, and then I'll have a hole down here to screw into the wall. And then we're going to have 2 threaded inserts there, and that's what's going to be used to screw the hook onto there, and that'll give it a bit of a better footing. So this here is the kind of fitting that's in there. It's got some anchors that get screwed into the wall, and the legs on these, when the screw gets pulled out, pulls with it these legs that splay out and keep the screw tightly against that. But what I found is that some of these were just stripping out, so that when you put the screw in, it wasn't connecting completely with it. So I'm just going to have to put the screw in here and then just pull these anchors out. Okay, so that doesn't want to come out. Let's try a pair of pliers. Oops. Well, that's one big hole. Well, I could always fill it later. It's going to be covered by that sheet of wood anyway. There we go. Got rid of it. The type of screw fit I'm going to try in here now is just one of these hollow wall anchors. These don't take a lot of weight, but with the 2 pocket hole screws up there, it's only really to stop it moving about. I'm just going to tighten that up just enough and no more. So I didn't have a screw that had a large enough flat head on it, or rather I had screws that were long enough, but they didn't have the right gauge, so it wouldn't go in and grab on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the screw go a little bit deeper into the piece of wood so that has a chance to bite. Now I'm a bit worried about drilling into a hole that's already there with a spade bit. It's got a tendency probably just to go all over the place, but we'll see. That's not too bad. Okay, so that's going in a bit deeper, and that should make it easy enough for the screw to grab. So let's try that. Okay, so that's now got enough to grab that screw. Okay, let's see if I can fit this in again. Okay, so I don't want to tighten that one up too much. And see if I can actually find the pocket hole screws. Don't over tighten that too much. Okay, so that's not moving. So again, a couple of washers on the screws, and these are just bolts, M6 bolts, to go into the M6 threaded inserts. This is what the threaded insert looks like. So it's got a hex in there that you use to drive it into the piece of wood. This just goes in a little bit like a normal screw. So you drill a hole that's just the right size for the body of this. So you just measure the distance across both sides there. And that's probably something like 9mm or something like that. So you drill a 9mm hole, then just get your screwdriver hex bit and just drive it into the piece of wood. And then I'm taking any M6 bolt and that just screws in there like that. So it gives you a really strong connection. Okay, now I'll just give that a final tighten. So let's see how that's going. Okay, so that's cool. That's not going anywhere now. So I think I've learned that sometimes trying to screw a bracket on, especially with 2 points that are fixed so close together there, doesn't fit into plasterboard very well. If you were going to do that without putting a piece of board up, try and screw into the stud. Failing that, maybe use some spring toggles behind there. But 2 spring toggles so close together, you usually need something like a 14mm hole, which would probably just weaken that plasterboard too much. So it's always good to spread the load a little bit like that by having a piece of wood. It might not look quite as nice, but it's in a wardrobe, so who cares really? Yeah, pleased with that. So hopefully that should make it a little bit easier. To hang up the vacuum hose. Cheerio.